that if you just walk into an airport with somebody and you start talking, you're immediately talking about something that everybody wants to talk about? Is that how it goes? Uh, Especially if you know that
Yes.
person? That's it? Oh, okay. Because that's the rumor that's been floating around about Mercedes Monet bumping into Shane McMahon at an airport. And apparently those two were talking about AEW. And I'm like, how the fuck do you know what they were talking about? Like, they just were talking. Like, you have no idea if they were talking. They're like, no, 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 they were talking about AEW. And this has been reported all over. And it's like, did you ask both of them, like, what were you talking about? And they're like, oh, we're talking about AEW.
Yeah, like just to automatically assume that shit. Like what the fuck?
Yeah, that was very weird. And it's like, because, like, okay, I have no doubt that the Shane McMahon thing is inching closer. That's how I feel like it's inching closer. But the thing is, I don't believe that him and Mercedes were just like straight up going, "Oh, let's talk about AEW." Like I don't believe that. Like I can't buy that for 1 second. They just seen each other at the airport. They're like, "Hey, hey, so how's AEW? Oh, it's great. Hey, do you think that they would want me over there? Oh yeah, no, they definitely want you over there." It's like I don't think that that would happen. Honestly.
And they if they talked about it, it probably was in passing. Like the rest was like, "How you doing? How's your kid, Shane?" You know, stuff like that.
Yeah, it's like I just felt like it was a reach, but like it's like more of smoke and fire. So it seems like Shane McMahon is inching closer and closer to AEW, which, like I said, I don't know how it's going to come off, but hey, whatever. Like we'll see. Like
Yeah,
maybe Tony can pull it off, and like it'll be accepted. But it's going to be one of those holy shit moments. No matter what happens, it's like it's a holy shit moment because a McMahon has never been to another company. So it'll be a straight up big holy shit moment. Like whatever happens after that is I don't know. But the moment is going to be huge because it's like it's never been done. And it's like, oh, Shane's in another company. That's never happened before.
yeah.
So like, I mean, it is what it is. Like we'll see how the execution comes off, and there'll be some people who, no matter what the execution is, go, "Oh, it was great." When it's not, like it's just it's just some shit that just is cringeworthy. It ain't even got to be deep, I guess. But also, the maximum male models showed up in Ring of Honor. How do you feel about that?
M- MXM. I actually saw the promo. Like you had told me about it beforehand, and then I saw the promo. Like I like it. I like it. Too bad I'm never gonna be able to see it because it's on Ring of Honor. But yeah, I like it.
So with them going over, and then also Dijak was backstage at Forbidden Door, and he's like, "Thanks for having me." So that looks like Dijak could be landing at AEW, which will be a great get for AEW. And then on
Yeah.
Wednesday, Ricochet's agent was at AEW television. So it seems to be a couple of big signings for AEW. So yeah, I mean,
I'm okay with all of them going to either Ring of Honor or AEW, except for Ricochet. I think he fits better in TNA.
he would fit like
That's just me, though.
so. The thing about him being in TNA, he would be like
Hmm.
the biggest star in TNA. That would be like the only thing about it. It would be like he'd be like the biggest star there, but then he'll just like
Yeah,
run out of steam because like there's nothing else for him to do. And like that's not shitting on anybody from TNA, but like you're gonna run out of steam because it's like you're gonna fight Moose, then you're gonna fight Matt Hardy, you're gonna fight this one, and it's like, all right, you've done that. There's nothing else to do. But in AEW, it's like there's like 1,000 dream matches. That it's like, oh, he could face this one, he could face this one, and the legendary him versus Will Ospreay is a thing. Like, so that would be a thing. Also, people have never seen him versus Swerve. I mean, like that happened in Lucha Underground, but people have never seen it. And like, it's just a lot of other matches. It's like, oh, there's dream matches, and the way AEW books, it's like oh, we're gonna book a match here, and you're not gonna get the next big dream match until like 6 months later. Like, oh, okay, cool. So that's why I'm like okay with it. Like him going to AEW because like the dream
Yeah.
matches will be like stretched out. But if he goes to TNA, it's like he's the biggest starter. And it's like, okay, that's gonna run its course very quickly.
Okay. Yeah. You're spitting facts. That's true.
Yeah. So because like if TNA was like in a better position, I'd be like, yeah, I would want him to go to TNA. Like right now in
Yeah.
TNA, I can't name 10 people that I'd be like, oh shit, I want to see Ricochet face these 10 people. Like I can't name 10 people. Like in AEW, I can name 20 people that's like, oh, I want to see Ricochet fight this person, this person, this person, this person, this person.
Wow. You just said that, and I legit
Mm-hmm.
tried to think about it as you're saying it. I only came up with one, and that's Mustafa Ali.
Yeah, see, that's like, it's not that many people. It's like, oh, well, I mean, he would be the biggest star there. Like I said, he would be the attraction. People will watch it, but then you run out of people very quickly and it's over. It's like, oh, okay, cool. Yay.
Yeah.
But yeah, like him in AEW is like the perfect fit. Well, all of them basically in AEW is the perfect fit. I mean,
Yeah.
Dijak he could go to TNA and also be that big standout star. But the thing is with Dijak, you can see him just like running over people, and then like they would have to create somebody to fight Dijak. Like instead of like this for Ricochet, they wouldn't be able to do that because Ricochet is like 10 times a bigger star than Dijak.
True.
Like Dijak going to AEW, like people who never seen him in work in Ring of Honor or never seen him work in PWG would be like, oh shit, Dijak can go, and like that's gonna be awesome.
Yeah. Hopefully, it works out for every single one of them, and then they don't get lost in the shuffle.
I can guarantee you that some of them will get lost in a shuffle, but it was like because of the way that AEW is, a lot of people, even though they get lost in the shuffle, they still will be feeling like, oh my god, they're still a star, but it's like this person hasn't done nothing. Like the way Jay White is, and people be like, oh, you guys are complaining about Jay White, but look, he has the 6-man titles, and it's like, yeah, well, it's been a whole month almost, and like Jay White hasn't done nothing substantial. He won one match in the Owen Hart tournament and is about to lose the match this week, and it's like there's really nothing substantial here. Like he hasn't done nothing to the point where I'm like, oh, Jay White signing AEW was a it was a great deal. And I know somebody be like, well, if he signed to WWE, he wouldn't be doing what he's doing. Listen, he probably would have been world champion. He probably would have been world champion when he got there. Like walked right in the door and would have been world champion. Like
At this
that's
point, probably like twice over.
but like in AEW he hasn't done nothing, and like I hate when people go, "Oh my god, he does have this." He's done nothing of note. It's just he's wasted. He's wasted.
Yep.
And there was a quote from Ego Ethan Page because I saw this on Fightful, like because they just posted a caption out of it, and me being me is like, oh, I'm not just gonna read the caption. I need to read it because this seemed like it was like out of context. And that's something Fightful doesn't do is just like post a quote out of context. I'm like, this seems really out of context because the context was like going to NXT from AEW was a refresher because going in AEW was like a chaotic situation and going into NXT was a machine. So I was like, yeah, this feels like this is a troll. I'm like, I don't know why Fightful did this because like that's what I'm thinking. Just reading the headline, I'm like, all right, I got to read this whole article. And he goes into the article and he literally says why he said that. and like a bunch of other things. And you're like, oh, that does make sense because he said he's done everything by himself for 11 years. He trained himself. He did he did his marketing. He did everything. He did all of this. He never really got trained as a wrestler. He literally did everything himself to get to where he's at. And then he got to AEW, and they just was like, "All right, you're here. Figure out some shit," and just walked off. And like that's kind of how he was in AEW. And he said he didn't like that. He said he went to NXT, and they had basically was like, "Listen, this is what you're gonna do. This is how you're gonna do that." And he said he's been training with the trainers, like, "Hey, listen, I've been doing this my whole career. Is this right?" And they'd be like, "Well, if you do this, this, and this, like that'll be a better thing." And he's like, "I never had that." He was like, and it feels so. He was like, it feels so different being in NXT than AEW. And it immediately just was like a bunch of people just immediately was like, "Oh, when you go to WWE, you shit on AEW," and I'm like, that's like that's usually the other way around. But at the same time, he didn't say anything bad like, "Oh, this is the worst place in the world to work." He said it just was chaotic because we really didn't know what we were doing, and here is like it's structured. He's like, we just didn't know what we were doing in AEW, but nobody really told me anything, and I just had to do shit myself. And it's like, that's understandable. Because it's like you were lower down on the totem pole. Nobody really gave a shit. And it was like, all right, we'll figure out some shit for you eventually. And that's why I kind of agree with that. It's like, it's not a shot at him. It's like he wasn't a guy, he wasn't one of the guys. So, yeah.
Everything he did like felt random too in AEW.
Yeah.
Like
And
the
then it
Matt
was,
Hardy thing and shit.
yeah. Then it was like one point where he just like fucking peered and like nobody, there was no explanation. Like even Scorpio Sky, like Scorpio Sky literally did like three promos. It was like, "Hey, I'm like the guy who's gonna fix everything, and trust me, I'm back." That he never showed back up. He never showed back
Oh
up.
my god, you're right. Oh shit.
That was like 2 months ago. He put those promos out, and he never showed back up. And it's like, yeah, I can kind of see why Ethan Page said that. It was like, yeah, it's kind of chaotic, and they just like kind of give up unless you're the main guys. So it is what it
I'm gonna be honest, I forgot all about like Scorpio Sky.
is.
Like you're
See,
right about that shit.
see, that's the problem. It's like there's so many guys there that get lost in the shuffle. And I know somebody's like, WWE does it too. We'll get to that eventually. But right now we're talking about AEW, and we said this a million times. It's like there's people there that just go missing, and like there's no story, no follow up, and they're just gone. And it's like, well, can we get anything? And then it's like, no, it's gone. Like they're just gone. If you're not the top stars, they don't really focus on you or care about you. And like I said,
Yeah.
I I totally understand what he said, and like it wasn't a shot at AEW. Like they don't know how to book, they don't know how to do this. It's just they have too many people, and they don't really have like a structure of like, okay, this, and this, and this, and this. And I forgot what podcast I was listening to because I listened to so many. Someone was literally just like, there's stuff that goes on in AEW that doesn't feel cohesive, and they should have somebody that's supposed to keep the week to week stuff cohesive. They were like, some of the shit like that goes on doesn't feel cohesive. And it made me go, wait, what the fuck? Because Will Washington is supposed to be that guy. That he got signed, and he was like, "This is my job to do the week to week to make sure shit is cohesive." And now people are just like, "There's no cohesiveness to some of the stories. Like some shit will happen, and you'll be like, "Wait, wasn't this going on over here? Like that doesn't make any sense." And that just made me just go, "Oh shit!" But
So he ain't doing the job then.
I mean, I'm not gonna shit on him and say he's not doing his job, but people are criticizing him. Like people are criticizing the story, but it is what it is. So we start off Rampage with Commander versus Rouge. And I love this. Like, I love the match. I hated everything else about this because you know exactly why I hate the shit out of this.
The extra bullshit with the family and all that. Yeah,
Yes,
yeah,
that
exactly.
pissed me off. And you know what? Like, also extra pissed me off with this because Don Callis was
What?
out there and Roosh like threw like Commander right at Don Callis's feet, and it's like, all right, this is part of the family storyline. But later on in the show, something else happens, and I'm like, what? What? Like, it doesn't make any fucking sense. Like, it didn't make any sense. I'm like, that was ass backwards.
Like, what was the point of the first thing if you showed the second thing? Like, you should have kind of inverted it. You're absolutely right.
Yeah, like that didn't make any sense. Like, I saw that, I was like, that fucking boggles my mind. Like, that didn't make sense. But then after Roosh walks off, Takeshka and Kyle Fletcher come out because they have a tag team match. And they're facing Private Party. And of course, Takeshita and Kyle Fletcher beat them. But the thing is, they start talking about Takeshita being in the G1. And they're like, oh, Takeshita's going to be gone for a month because he's going to be in the G1. And then they said, is he going to be representing AEW or is he going to be representing Don Callis' family? And I'm like, I neither. Like, I'm not even joking, neither. Because his literally on his match graphic on the G1 says DDT because that's the promotion he wrestles in Japan, DDT. And it's like, it says DDT. It doesn't say AEW. It says DDT. So it's like, neither. He's not representing neither.
Yes, that shit's weird to me because I would think, just me,
Mhm.
like I don't look at contracts and whatever. If you're AEW and you go to another company, you should represent AEW. But like for example, Penta was in it. I guess he would represent AAA, not AEW.
Um,
That
he,
type of thing.
he probably would because, like, that was so weird to me because I saw it said DDT and it's like, I know he's from DDT because I watched him wrestle in DDT and it's like, oh, well, he is, but he also, they literally said on commentary he's from AEW, but the match graphic said DDT. And I'm like, okay, cool, well, whatever.
Like if it was DDT slash AEW, okay, you get a pass.
Yeah, and we'll talk about New Japan like after we do the Rampage coverage. But yeah,
Okay.
it was kind of weird. So then after the Takeshka and Kyle Fletcher match beating Private Party, we get Roderick Strong. And this is canon. Like this is canon, and like this is a canon event that like I totally didn't count the days. I did not count the days, but apparently Roderick Strong counted the days. He said, "Ishii, you beat me 3,056 days ago," and I was like, "How the fuck did you count those days? Like that was that was like in 2016. How the fuck did you? How?" And it was, here's the weird part about it. He didn't even
Mhm.
say when he was gonna face Ishii. He didn't say, Ishii, I'm gonna face you next week, or Ishii, I'm gonna face you whenever. He didn't say shit. He just said, Ishii, I wanna fight you. And it's like, okay, when are you gonna fight him? And it was like there was no follow-up. And then he just said, Kyle O'Reilly, he's like, I'm gonna get you back in the family. And it's like, okay, but why did you just challenge Ishii to a fight and then like just left it there? And it's just, there was no follow up.
In theory, he like it should be like around this week, like a dynamite or something, right? Like in theory.
It should be like, but there was like it was so random. It was like the most unfollow up follow up. It was like hey, I want to fight you. When Kyle O'Reilly, I'm gonna get you back by hook or crook, and it's like you just challenged Ishii, and there was no what is happening? I just was so bothered. And
Fucking crazy.
yes, so after that, they show the Don Callis in Rushdig, and he's trying to recruit Roosh to the family, and it's like. So what was the thing in the front? Like the first thing? Like why did you? None of this made sense. None of it made sense.
Yeah.
So
Like the Don Kelly thing kind of made me check out. So
yeah, because like it was like, why did you do this if you did the thing in the front? Like, what was the point?
yeah.
It was so weird. So then we had a Kyle O'Reilly match against a local person, and the Kingdom comes in there and they're trying to, hey, we want Kyle O'Reilly. It's like, buddy, and Kyle's like, dude, we just had a match this weekend. What are you talking about? He's like, no, no, no. We're cool. We're trying to get cool again. And it's like, this makes no sense. This story makes absolutely zero sense. 1 minute they want him, then they fuck him up, and then they're like, I don't want nothing to do with him. Then it's like, no, I want him again. This story makes no sense. This cohesive shit, it does not make sense.
Didn't Kyle legit try to break Roderick's like ankles?
Yes, it's just like it makes no sense. That's what I'm like. This is so weird. Like, and it's so weird because it's like this is like the B stories or like the C or D stories of AEW, and they're just like, we don't really give a fuck about this. We have other shit that's more important, and it's like everything else we don't give a shit about. And it's like, but you should care about everything. It's like, all right, whatever. So then we have Samoa Joe challenge Chris Jericho. And part of me was like, I don't see why this is happening. But then it's like, oh yeah, he beat up Hook, so he's taking revenge for Hook. But like, I don't want to see him face Jericho. Sorry, I don't want to see him face Jericho.
Same. Unless he destroys them,
No,
which
because
he basically alluded to.
dude, he said he wants to destroy him, and I just got so pissed off because it's like, you can't destroy him when the story is Hook versus Jericho. He needs his revenge on Jericho to get the title back. You're trying to take up for your buddy, and your buddy is the one who's supposed to be getting the title back. So if you go out there and kill Jericho, it means everything that Hook did and like everything that he wants to get the title back means absolutely nothing. It means nothing. And it's like, I don't want that, but also I don't want Joe to go against Jericho. I'm like, I don't want this to happen because if Joe's gonna go against Jericho, he has to kill him. He has to murder him dead. He's not gonna do that because of the Hook situation, and I don't like that.
I actually saw a weird theory that I totally don't believe, but I'm just gonna say it just to say it, right?
Mm-hmm.
That apparently the fireball and them kicking Taz out and whatever, all that was to write them out of AEW because their contract is like almost expired or whatever. Don't believe it whatsoever, but yeah.
Okay, so Hook's contract is coming up this year. It is coming up in
Yeah.
2024. I don't know when it is because, like, what I heard, it was like in a few months, which is like in October. I heard like it's coming up in October, and he's looking to explore his options and go to fucking WWE. That's why I'm like, all right, like that makes sense. So him getting taken out now is like, I don't know. Because here's the thing, like, why would they leave the FTW title in fucking AEW?
Exactly. Like they need to like if it's happening soon, they need to end the Jericho storyline for it to happen.
Yeah, and I think that's what's going to happen. They're going to end the Jericho storyline, and then Hook is just going to go one on one with Joe. He's going to lose to Joe. Joe's going to choke him out, They're gonna break up Jill and then Hook is on his way to WWE, and that's simple as that. That's simple as.
Now, question,
Mm-hmm.
like with the other part of the theory, do you think Taz is going with him?
No, no, I don't think Taz is going.
Oh, okay.
Like Taz likes being on commentary. Taz likes doing what he's doing. And even though like the WWE landscape, like behind the scenes, is like completely changed, Taz isn't gonna go. Like to be honest, like when Taz is on commentary, sometimes he just like be totally checked out and says like the funniest shit. Is him on
Yeah,
commentary is better than just like anybody else. Him, Tony Schiavone, and Excalibur when they're just like saying shit and Excalibur's trying to keep straight, and him and Tony just like shooting shit, and it's like that. That's perfect. Like that's perfect commentary for AEW. Like him leaving and going to WWE is like it wouldn't be good for him, so he should just stay here.
yeah. He actually is one of the best commentators there, in my opinion.
Um, I honestly, to be honest, I don't know because like I like my commentaries are like if they're doing color commentary, I like them to be funny and just like to the point and just like be total asshole heel like Nigel McGuinness. Like Nigel, like
Yeah,
he hits like all the boxes of my favorite color commentary. It's like he does that. He's great there. That's there. But the regular person, the I forgot what they call the other person, the regular broadcaster who's supposed to be the straight man, like
yeah.
AEW doesn't have that. And some people will be like, "Oh, Tony Schiavone, Tony Schiavone." Tony Schiavone checks out like halfway through the show sometimes. Like sometimes he just like does not give a shit. And like he'll literally be like, okay, I'm calling it straight, and then he just like Excalibur will step on his toes and be like, you know what, fuck this shit. And he just like just goes in a Tony mode where he just like half asses it. And it's like it's nothing against Tony, but it's like sometimes he just half asses shit, sometimes be like, all right, whatever. It's, it
I
is what
mean,
it
if you
is.
don't give a fuck, you just don't give a fuck. Yeah,
Because like the reason I think he doesn't give a fuck is because he literally will be saying something and be like, all right, I'm trying to tell a story. And then Excalibur will come in with some shit. And then he'll just be like, all right, fuck it, Excalibur, you want to talk? You take it. And then him and Taz will just be saying shit back and forth. And like, they'll just be making jokes. And you'll be like, all right, then Excalibur gotta keep it straight. But
but
I
he
mean,
doesn't.
yeah, he doesn't. But for me, the only commentator that I really enjoy listening to is Nigel McGuinness. Like Nigel is my favorite commentary on AEW. Him and Ian Riccaboni. When it's him and Ian Riccaboni, because they have like the Ring of Honor experience of like working together, they're perfect together. Because Ian Riccaboni is good when he's on commentary, he's good at keeping stuff straight and talking about the matches and getting into, hey, this is this guy and this thing and this thing and this thing. Ian Riccaboni is great, but like when he's like
I need
not
to see
there,
more of him.
oh, he's fucking awesome because when he used to be the second guy from Kevin Kelly, because it used to be Kevin Kelly and Nigel McGuinness, they were like the perfect Ring of Honor team. But Ian Riccaboni would just he would have to do it with Veda Scott. All right, this is the second announced team. And him and Veda got really good. Like they got really good. And then Kevin Kelly left and they put Ian Riccaboni with Nigel. And then Nigel left, so it was Ian Riccaboni and Caprice Coleman. And they literally carried all of Ring of Honor until Ring of Honor died. Like they were carrying Ring of Honor. Like they were good on commentary. Like Ian is like fucking he's fucking awesome. So when he gets his time to shine, like
Awesome.
he works. Like he can work. I just wish like I wish they would put him as the lead commentator, but you know Tony Schiavone has legacy, Taz has legacy, Excalibur has indie legacy, so it's like these have they're set. Ian just has to work in his spot.
Actually, I was about to ask you about fucking Excalibur's legacy because I never heard of him until AEW.
He was a PWG announcer. Like he
Okay,
was an announcer in PWG for a long time.
cool.
So that's why he's like a big name because most of the guys came through PWG and they're like, yo, we love this guy. Bring him on because he's entertaining and he's our guy and we fucks with him. And that's how he got brought on.
Got you.
Yeah. So back to Rampage. We had a Tony Storm promo and Tony was talking about kissing the title, her hips, her thighs. And then she said she's going to face Trisha Dora on Collision. And I was like, oh, okay. And the reason I said, oh, okay, because like she went into like this, the whole promo was just about her and her body. And then it was just like, Trisha Dora, I'm going to fight you. And it's like, oh, okay, but like, okay, yeah, no, I was thinking about your body, but like, you want to fight Trisha Dora. All right, cool.
Kind of gave props to Trish for being in the fucking like army or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Like it said something to the effect of "Thank you for your service, but I'm still beating your ass." Something like that.
Yeah. I was like, oh, okay. It's like, it just was like a 180 of a promo. It's like, this is all about me and how sexy I am. Trisha Dora, I'm gonna beat your ass. It's like, oh, that was jarring, but okay, cool. Like they're gonna have a good match because Trisha Dora she can wrestle, but the only problem is they keep sticking her on Ring of Honor, and they need to let her wrestle on regular television.
Yeah.
And so yeah, so then we had the main event, and it was Hikaru Shida versus Mariah May, and this went exactly how everybody knew it was gonna go. Mariah May wins.
Like how obvious could you be?
Exactly. And then after the match, she hugged with Tony Storm and put her face right in the bosom, like always. Oh yeah, that was cute.
Like there has to be betrayal there somewhere, right?
Oh, it's coming. It's definitely coming. It's happening at fucking Wembley because Mariah May's taking that title at Wembley. Like I don't care what anybody says, she's taking the title at Wembley. Because I hear like a bunch of people going, she shouldn't win it at Wembley. They should wait and like stretch it out longer. And it's like, no, they shouldn't. This is the perfect time. And it's like the only way I would be like, I'm fine with it is if they do the Roman Reigns Cody thing, but I would be pissed off. Like the only reason I would be really pissed off, and it's not because they're making it stretch for a year. It's because Tony can't lose that title, and the division needs somebody else to win the title. And like, just say if Jamie Hayter came back, if Jamie Hayter showed back up, it's like there's no way I'm just gonna let her wrestle Tony Storm and she's not winning the title. Like, there's no way that that's
True.
happening. So she would have to lose it right there to Mariah May because she loses to Mariah May, and everything goes great. Then Jamie Hayter comes back eventually, and Jamie just like, I have to run through the division. I've been going, and she just like humbly says, "Listen, I'm the baddest person here, but I know I've been going for so long. I need to earn my stripes," and just runs through the rest of the division, and then gets to whoever the world champion is. Like that's perfect.
Can't wait till she's back. Actually,
Me too, because like I said, like we found out what happened to Britt Baker, and now we still have no idea what's going on with Jamie. So yeah, that was a thing. So New Japan stuff. So there's a lot and a little. So one thing is there's been a lot of criticism from the New Japan fans recently about the way that AEW has been treating them, and the shit seems one sided. And it's like, this is what I've been trying to tell you guys. This shit seems one sided. And everybody like now is just starting to wake up and go, oh, this is kind of one sided. After we watch Forbidden Door, we feel like AEW kind of got slighted and there was no real back and forth between AEW and New Japan. And it's like, yeah, like you guys really figured that shit out now. But that's a good thing because people are waking up. But also, people are heavily criticizing New Japan because they're like, okay, even though some of the top stars have left, New Japan should have prepared for the future. They should have been like, all right, this guy's up next, this guy's up next, and this guy's up next. But there was never really a tale of like, oh my God, Okada's going to leave. Oh my God, this person's going to leave. Oh my God, this person's going to leave. There was never really that fear until now where AEW just snatching up people like, hey, we're just taking all your guys. And it just left AEW in a really bad position. And I mean, not AEW, New Japan. And now New Japan is finally going to the point where they're like, fuck it, we're going to go in a new direction. Because the G1 has a bunch of regular and newer talent. Like, all of these are young lions that have came back. And they had this little tournament of, okay, we have 2 spots left, and these people have to win these tournaments to get in these 2 spots. And all of the New Japan regulars that usually go in the G1 was in this tournament. Like Tanahashi was in it, Taichi was in it, fucking, who else was it? Yoshihashi was in it, Ishii was in it. Like all of these people were in this tournament, but none of them won. And one of the new guys, Kyle Newman, he's part of the United Empire. Kyle Newman is now in the G1. And a young lion who he's really good, but like he didn't even go on excursion. His name is Oleg Bolton. He's in the G1. So this made everybody happy because it's like, wait a minute, some of the guys we like aren't in the tournament, but they're breathing new blood into the tournament. It's like, okay, cool. That makes everybody happy. And then today we had the junior title defense from Desperado against Doki. And Doki is a person that literally, when he showed up, he wrestled for another company. I swear it was DDT. I don't remember exactly what company he wrestled for. He wrestled for another company. He joined Suzuki-gun. And everybody was like, this guy sucks. And they just kept saying he sucks because all he did was just hardcore shit. And he was like, this guy sucks. And it just was like this fucking weird ass thing where all of a sudden he just started wrestling and people was like, you know what? He's actually fucking good. And then what really blew everybody's mind, because he wears a mask and he wears a t-shirt. They did this thing where they was like showing off New Japan bodies. And like people were like totally fucking ripped. He took off his shirt and people was like, what the fuck? Like you're ripped? Like this whole time you've been hiding that under a fucking t-shirt? It was fucking weird. But then he just like
They thought he was fat or something?
No, he just wore a shirt he just wore a shirt. He never took off his shirt. Like ever since he started wrestling, he just always wore a shirt. No one knew what was under the shirt. They're just like, okay. He was a junior, which means he was little, and he just always wore a shirt and nobody just said anything. And he took off his shirt and he just was cut. Like he literally had abs and everything. And everybody was like, what the fuck is going on? And he got a lot of people behind him and he started wrestling better. And people like he went from like this hardcore asshole to like a normal wrestler. And people was like, no, we fucks with him. So he had a match for the IWGP Junior title against Desperado, and everybody loves Desperado. And he was like, okay, Desperado and Doki, they used to be on the same team. They were a tag team at once, and they like, okay. they're gonna have this match, and people was like, wouldn't it be weird if Doki won? Like, cause he kind of deserves it, and he's good, and Doki beat Desperado. He's the new IWGP Junior Champion, and everybody was like,
They
holy,
jinxed it in a good way.
yeah, and like everybody was like, holy shit, like this is a good thing, like to the point where like people missed the show were waking up to like text messages like Doki's a champion. They're like, nah, stop fucking with me. Doki's a champion. Oh my god, Doki won! Like that's how fucking crazy it was. It was it was a good moment, and yeah, it was really fucking awesome.
I saw people tweet about it.
Yeah. So now we go to WWE land because Money in the Bank is coming up tomorrow. So it starts off with this is one of the best things ever. It starts off with Kevin, Cody, and Randy, and they're walking, and all of a sudden you look at Randy. Randy's chewing, and you're like, okay, he's chewing gum. You look at Randy, he has a fucking plate and a fucking fork eating, and you're like, what the fuck is going on?
Where the
Dude,
hell you get the food from?
I don't know, but it was so good because I thought like that was it, but it gets so much better. It gets so much better. So all of a sudden, the show starts off with Jay Uso. And Jay Uso comes out and he's happy yeet. And then LA Knight comes out and he's yeah. So they go back and forth saying their little catchphrases. Then Chad Gable comes out and everybody else from the whole thing comes out and they get in a little brawl because it's Money in the Bank. Of course, not even a bad thing.
The beginning part kind of reminded me of and I forget exactly who was in it, but it was like the Miz, Alex Riley was in it, and I forget who they were arguing with, but it was like really something else, really something else, like something that sounded like really, and then Alex Riley's like Riley.
Do you know what's funny about that? That was in a Money in the Bank. That was a Money in the Bank thing. Not even joking.
Oh shit.
Because that was the
Okay, so I guess it was done on purpose.
yeah, like it was a Miz Money in the Bank thing.
Do you remember
So
the other guy? Because I do not.
no, I don't remember, but I remember that it was the Money in the Bank thing because it was like it was one of these situations.
Okay.
So then we get Bailey. Bailey's in the back and she's talking about, hey, listen, I don't care who wins the title. I mean, who wins Money in the Bank? I just know I'm gonna beat them. Blah blah blah. And then Chelsea Green shows up, and Chelsea Green's like, "Yeah, no, I'm gonna win Money in the Bank, and you're lucky that Piper didn't get you." And Bailey goes to say something, and Piper just runs her into the wall, and she's just down. So yeah, that sets up Bailey asking Nick Aldis for a match, but it was weird because Naomi was like, "Girl, you know I got your back," and it just feels off. It feels off. It feels
The way
like
she looked at her.
yeah, it feels like Naomi's a bad guy.
You know, technically, she's part of the bloodline. So, yeah, man. And like, she would be part of the good one, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, like, she could join up with the bad one, solo them.
I I don't. I'm gonna say it like this. I have a theory for if they did add a woman to the bad bloodline, wouldn't be her.
Okay.
So then we had Pretty Deadly versus the Street Profits, and this match was good, but by the end of this match, I'm just screaming at Hunter that there's no way you're just gonna let Montez Ford stay in this tag team for long, right? There's no way.
That and like, I didn't like the fact that Street Profits won. Like, We haven't seen Pretty Deadly in a while. Like they should have won.
I feel that way too, but like also watching Montez Ford like take over the fucking match and do his fucking thing, it was like, yeah, this is like this dude is fucking great.
Yeah, he's gonna be future like secondary champion, and then eventually a world. But he's getting that secondary like really soon.
Yep. So then we had Theory and Waller. And Theory comes in and goes, yo, I've been thinking about what Johnny said. And Waller just starts gaslighting him. He goes, yo, when you was with Johnny, you didn't win a title. But when you left Johnny, you won a US title, you won money in the bank, you were the youngest money in the bank. And last WrestleMania, you beat John Cena. And he just basically was like, you don't need Johnny. And it's like, dude, he just gaslighted you.
Yeah,
Because like I definitely was like, he's not gonna turn him. And he just bullshitted him and was like, nope, I turned him. Like, oh shit. Well, all right.
the funny part in my head, I'm like, you're basically saying he doesn't need you either, right?
Basically. So then we had Indy Hartwell and Candace versus Jade and Bianca. And Jade and Bianca won. And I was like, in my head, I'm like, they're gonna break them up, right? They're gonna break them up. And then after the match, they go, we're going for the tag team titles. We're gonna face Unholy Alliance and we're gonna beat them. And it's like, I don't think that's how it's gonna work.
That's where the breakup happens.
Yeah, because I felt like they were like one of them was gonna say they wanted to go for the tag titles, and the other one was gonna be like, nah. But they both was like, no, we're going for the tag titles. So I 100% think they're gonna lose a tag title match, and one of them's gonna turn on the other. I don't know who, but one of them
Yep,
turning. So that's gonna be a good thing.
I think it's gonna be Bianca because we haven't seen a heel Bianca in a while.
Yeah, I'm all right with that. So then we have Kevin, Randy, and Cody walk into the ring. And I thought it was over. I really was like, oh, it's over. There's no more of the Randy thing eating. Nope. Randy's fucking got a protein shake and drinking a protein shake. And it's like, when do you stop eating?
You wonder why he's so big.
It was so weird. It's like, this is so weird. And then Randy kept eyeballing the title. He kept eyeballing the title as they were walking out. It's happening
You
soon.
noticed that too.
Yeah, it's happening real soon. And the funny part, like somebody on the internet had said, y'all know Randy's turning on Cody. When do you think Randy's turning on Cody? And immediately I was like, oh, it's probably going to be tomorrow. But then something else happened later on where I was like, oh, it's not going to be tomorrow. It ain't.
Yeah,
So,
I agree.
so then Randy, Kevin, and Cody come out and they're coming out for their promo. And Cody's basically saying he's going to beat Solo. Randy said something. And then Kevin just gets vulnerable. I guess it's a vulnerable weekend because he just goes, listen, 5 days ago, I got a phone call and my mom got sick and she went in the hospital. And she's not doing good. And I've been with her the whole time. And he goes, in Toronto, usually my mom and dad are here and they're hanging out with the kids, but she's in the hospital. He's like, and part of me didn't want to come to work today. He said, everybody in the back would have been okay with it. Everybody here would have been okay with it. But my mom wouldn't have been okay with it. He's like, because ever since I was little, I wanted to be a WWE superstar. And she pushed me to be a WWE superstar. And I'm here, and she would be mad at me if I didn't wrestle tomorrow.
That's awesome.
It was,
The fact that
and
like it's for his mom and whatever. Yeah.
yeah, and then even Corey Graves was saying shout out to his mom, and it was like that's cool.
Yep.
So then they did a video package for the tag team titles. Brother, this video package was fucking awesome.
Yes.
Like they showed all of the old school shit, the Dudleys, Edge and Christian, the Hardys. They showed everybody, Legion of Doom, Nasty Boys, the Hitman. It was like they showed Demolition. When they showed Demolition, I popped. I was like, they've banned Demolition off of WWE television for years. Like this is the first time they showed Demolition in a long time. Oh my god, it just it was awesome because apparently these tag team titles are the lineage tag team titles. So that makes sense. Because the
I mean, you
original,
kind of get that by looking at them too.
yeah, like, but they actually said, no, this is the lineage tag team titles when they should, this goes back. They even showed the bar and he's like, this goes back, like all the way back to here. And it's like, okay, cool. Like this is what I wanted for these tag team titles to be the legend tag team titles. So that was great.
Yeah, I like that.
So it was like they're gonna have a tag team title match later on. And what was funny was like I seen this posted on Twitter early in the day, and it didn't register until later on. So early in the day, Dex posted the tag team match that they always talk about with them in DIY. They posted the match, and Dex just left the match there. He didn't no commentary, no nothing. He just left it there. And I was like, oh, that's kind of cool. It was like, oh, it's because DIY has a tag team title match. And it was like, nope, it was a lot deeper than that.
It's funny. I didn't think about that until it happened.
Yeah. So then we had Piper versus Bailey, and everybody from Money in the Bank were out there. And of course, they had a brawl. And Bailey wins. She beats Piper, but Bailey gets her ass beat by Nia Jax. So, yeah, Nia
She
is the
would have
one.
continued getting her ass kicked too.
Mm-hmm. But Nia is the one who is being the Savage Bloodline because she's just a
Yeah.
dominant monster. And then Mia Yim showed up. Mia Yim beat the shit out of Nia and ran her off. So that sets up their match for next week.
Totally forgot that was a match, and you mentioned it on the last episode.
Yeah. So they're gonna have that match next week, and I wonder if they're gonna make it a street fight.
I think it's gonna be more so hardcore. Same thing, but you know.
Yeah. So Trish Stratus is the host of Money in the Bank, and they announced that finally.
I don't mind it, but does every show need a host?
No, it doesn't, but like she's from there, and it's great to have her there because she hasn't
Yeah,
aged ever. Like
at all.
it's so weird. Like they showed a picture of her literally from July 5th, 2004, and then they showed a picture of her July 5th, 2024. She looks exactly the same. There's no change at all. You're like, God damn. Like,
Fucking crazy.
yeah, what is she doing?
Yoga.
I guess. So then A Town Down Under get ready for their match. And then they do the whole DIY interview, walk-in interview, and they walk through gorilla position, and you see This is the first time I they got Triple H on camera because they use like he's usually not on camera, and it's Triple H and Bruce Pritchard, and you see him on camera. You're like, oh, this is the first time you guys got put on camera by accident.
I don't think it was an accident.
I mean, I feel like it was. So then we get DIY versus A Town Down Under, which was a really, really good tag match.
Yes.
They hit the shatter machine in the match, which popped me. And
Hmm.
then they did the same exact finish that they did with FTR in that same exact building for the tag team titles. That also
Which is
popped
why
me.
Dax posted that.
Yes. And we have new tag team titles. Johnny and Champa, they were crying a little bit. And they took a picture with Triple H, and it was really funny because Triple H did the same exact thing. Like they did the same, they all did the same exact thing for this picture because Triple H like crosses his hands and like shakes both of their hands at the same time, and they did the same exact thing, and it's like oh shit, they just aged a little bit, and Triple H has more gray now.
Where? He has no hair.
No, on his face.
Oh, okay. Because I would say he has no hair. So
No, he has facial hair. It is grayer. So then we think the show is over. We're like, oh, the show is over. Nah, we get a Savage Bloodline promo, and they address the thing, and it's called the Tofula or something like that. It's basically
that's what I heard.
the lay that they give the tribal chief, and Solo says, "Yo," he was like, "I'm the tribal chief because Roman failed. He lost our title to Cody at WrestleMania. He was weak." It was like, okay. And he basically called Roman a bitch. And he said he's the new head of the table. He's the new tribal chief. And he's going to take Cody's title. And like soon as he said that, I was like, okay, so we're not getting Randy versus Cody at SummerSlam. We're not getting that.
Basically.
Because we're
But after
definitely
that, yeah.
oh I I figured out where we're getting it probably. We're probably getting it at Bad Blood.
Okay, that makes the most sense.
Yeah. So also, I wanted to bring this up because this is really funny because I have I have a liking to this pay per view, but also people have a averse reaction to this pay per view that could possibly be coming back, which is probably coming back. So, New Blood Rising,
Hmm. That's a
WWE.
WCW one, isn't it?
Yep, that was a WCW one, and the reason a lot of people have adverse reaction to that was because it was in the Vince Russo era. And because it was in the Vince Russo era, a lot of people was like, yo, we don't like this because Vince Russo books bullshit, Vince Russo books this, and this story was complete dog shit. We don't like it. Here's the thing about that. Here's the thing about that. I like New Blood Rising because it was something totally different than what everybody had speculated and go, oh, this is this. No, this was something totally different because New Blood Rising was the show where they was like, we're stripping everybody of the titles. Everybody has to win the titles back. Oh, okay, cool. That makes sense. It was it was just basically all of the younger guys stepped up. All of the younger guys was like, nah, fuck this. We're stepping up. And they stepped up and they beat the shit out of the older guys, and it was good. Like I love that.
Did you mention that they did that? Like just like that?
That's the thing. Like I always wish that somebody would do it and do it better. Like just strip all of the champions and go, fuck this. We're taking all of the titles off of all of you guys. Bunch of new people have to earn them, and there was like a good perfect time where like WWE could have did it, but it's Vince, and Vince isn't about doing chaos. But it was like a perfect time where like everybody had held the titles and like they totally fucking sucked, and you're like, oh, like get the titles off of these people. And it was like at a perfect time where they just could have been like, we're stripping everybody, and now new people to get the title. I was like, oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
But I have a feeling this is going to be an NXT pay per view.
Okay.
Yeah, this feels like it's going to be an NXT pay per view.
I don't know
So
why. Like I read into it. I read like fucking Bloodline. Like it's gonna be like a dedicated pay per view to them. But yeah, NXT would make more sense.
yeah, I mean, if they did it for like the bloodline, they don't have enough meat on the bone for that. And what I mean
Yeah.
is like they have the bloodline civil war. Yes, they have everybody that could have like tag team match and title match. Yes, you could do that, but that's only 3 matches. You have nothing after that. That's only 3 matches.
True.
Because like there's still Zilla who could possibly be on the way, Hikuleo who's possibly on the way, and that's just scratching the surface.
Yeah, because there's a lot of them coming. Probably.
Yeah, and the funniest thing is like they showed like all of a sudden everybody was like, "Oh my God, Rikishi has a fourth son," and it's like, dude, do you guys not pay attention like when shit's on the screen? Like that's what fucked me up. It's like, does nobody pay attention when shit's on the screen, or like does nobody pay attention on pictures? Like there's literally a picture out there of all four of them, and it's like it was like not recent, but like it was over like the last 10 years, like when Solo was a lot fatter, and it's like all four of them were right there. It's like, did you guys miss that? Like that's not news. And then also the thing was, it literally we said this like the fourth one is training. We said it on the podcast was like, yeah, you know that their other brother is training. And it's like, yeah, this is not news, but apparently the new brother is finally doing indie matches. And it's like, yeah, guys, this isn't new. It's coming.
And he looks like he's gonna be good. So
Oh yeah, it's gonna be it's gonna be awesome. So
yes.
so last podcast we did our predictions for Heatwave. Now we're gonna do our predictions for Money in the Bank.
Yes.
So we have the men's Money in the Bank with Mello, LA Knight, Jay Uso, Andrade, Drew McIntyre, and Chad Gable. Who do you have for this?
I'm gonna go with Drew, but for some reason I think he's gonna get screwed over, but I'm gonna go with Drew.
Okay, I'm going to go out on a limb. I'm going to go out on a limb and say Jay Uso. How does this wind up and work? I have no fucking clue. I said I'm going to go out on a limb. I don't really know.
The only reason I didn't go with Jay is because like he's in the poster.
Mm-hmm.
And correct me if I'm wrong, the person on the Money Bank poster, like regardless of is a female or male, they never won it. I might be wrong about that, but I don't think they've ever won it.
I want to say it did happen one time, only one time. It happened one time.
Okay.
So I'm still sticking with Jay.
Cool.
So then we have the women's Money in the Bank. Io versus Chelsea versus Lyra Valkyria, Tiffany Stratton, Naomi, and Zoe Starks. Who do you have with this?
Me. It's Tiffy time.
I'm going with that too. I'm going with Tiffy time. I'm gonna stick with that.
Yep. Yes.
So then we have for the Intercontinental Champion, Sammy versus Braun Breaker. Who do you have?
Braun Breaker, One Nation, can't nobody tell me any different.
Dude, like I really want Braun to win because like it would be a shock. Like, oh my god, Braun won.
Yes.
But I feel like Sammy's gonna win.
Yeah, like, the skin of his teeth if he wins because I don't see it.
Yep. So then we have Cody, Randy, and Kevin versus the Savage Bloodline, which is Solo, Tamatanga, Jacob Fatu. Who you got?
Oh, they actually like chose the people on the other side? Okay. Yeah, the bloodline.
I have this weird feeling that Solo's going to be the one that pins Cody, and that sets up the
Yes.
title match. So that's how I feel like that's going to happen.
1,000,000% that's what's gonna happen, yes.
And in the main event for the world title, Damian Priest versus Seth Rollins.
Yeah, Damian Priest getting screwed by his own peoples.
Dude, like, to be honest, this match is actually really fucking interesting because I am of three minds of this where I don't know how to fucking take this. Like it's three minds. Like I don't know. I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know because one part is the winner has to face Gunther. What's a bigger match? Seth Rollins versus Gunther or Damian Priest? It's Seth Rollins. So that's why I'm like, all right, Seth is gonna win. But then on the other hand, it's like Damian Priest hasn't had a real definitive title reign, and if he beats Seth, he will feel like a more accomplished champion. But then on the
Yes.
other hand, it's like the whole Judgment Day thing where they're going to break up, and this would be the perfect time to break Damian Priest away from them. So it's like that's leaning to Seth winning. But then also, it would be cool to see Seth at the struggle to get to the world title because Damian has it and he has to wait for somebody else to go get it. And then he gets the title shot, but then he still loses and has to reevaluate himself. It's like, it's just so much that could happen that I'm just going to go, I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah, that's really fucking complicated now that you broke it down. Shit.
And here's where it gets even trickier. It's the last match. Money in the Bank happens earlier in the show. It's the last match.
Oh, they get cashed in on. Fuck.
Yeah, anything can fucking happen. So it's just like that's why I'm just like I can't pick, but whoever, however, I just can't pick. Like I can't pick.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
That's a good reason not to pick.
Yes. So we will be back for the next podcast after Heat Wave because we're going to be covering Heat Wave, Money in the Bank, and Collision. So we're going to do 3 shows the next podcast.
Yep. So get ready for show number 3.